criminals out of our country.
All right, get the criminals out. Couldn't agree more. Joining us, Todd Lyons, acting ICE Director. Mr. Lyons, thank you for coming on. I just hoped you would help us. There's been a little bit conflicting back and forth. Let's get the criminals, okay? But if you've been here a while and you're a reliable worker on the farm or in the hotel or the restaurant, might that come last or a different policy? Can you explain where you are on this, sir?
Sure. First off, thanks for letting me come on and brag about the good work that ICE is doing. So, yeah, we're definitely sticking with President Trump's vision, and that we are focused on the worst of the worst, right? But under President Trump, we've been allowed to open up the entire immigration portfolio. So you have seen an increase in our worksite operations. You've seen an increase in our student visa screening, as well as some arrests. But I think really on the worksite portion, what you're seeing is we're actually going after those American businesses that are, exploiting human trafficking, forced labor, right? Things like that. And I think, the president and Secretary Noem, they would love to see American businesses taking advantage of the H-1B1 visas, paying that extra money and giving these people a lawful pathway to come in to build American businesses. But at the same time, we don't want American businesses exploiting forced labor, human trafficking. We found some instances of some unaccompanied minors who were lost in the system that we have found at some of these work sites. So that's what we are focused on. We're focused on the worst of the worst in the neighborhoods, especially ones in the largest sanctuary cities where a lot of these criminals are rearrested and then re-released just to go and offend again. And that's what the president has us doing. We're focused on those worst of the worst.
Well, that makes a lot of sense, and I appreciate that. The wonderful thing is all these numbers coming out. No net new illegals crossing into the United States in May, down 93% from a year ago. I mean, it just shows you elections matter and policies matter. Mr. Trump has changed the entire policy. ICE is working with him, yourself, Tom Homan, Kristi Noem, and so forth and so on. Look what's happened. All of a sudden, what seemed like an insurmountable problem has basically, this part of it's been solved. I'm not saying the deportations have yet been solved, and I know you're going after the criminals, and I know you got a lot of wise-ass politicians who want to get in the way of ICE. But at least you've stopped the border. You've closed the border, sir, which is remarkable and a terrific thing.
Yeah, 100%. Under President Trump's administration, with the secretary's vision and her leadership, we've actually been able to close the border with the great work of the men and women of the U.S. Border Patrol and Customs and Border Protection, which allows ICE to now go ahead into our communities, into the interior, and really focus on these bad people that the president talks about. And I think, like you said, elections do have consequences, and the American people want these public safety threats removed. We've found so many known suspected terrorists, human traffickers, fentanyl dealers. That is what the American people want, and that's what ICE dedicated to do right now, is to make sure that we are taking the worst of the worst out of the neighborhoods.
And I love what Trump said, and I love what Pam Bondi said and others. If they spit on you all, they're going to jail. They are going to the pokey, because you're doing the Lord's work, and you're the authority, and you're the law, and we need you. We need you. And if these crazy people don't respect you, then it's going to be their problem. Into the pokey. Anyway, Todd Lyons, we appreciate you coming on to clarify all these policies, and thank you for your service. Thank you for your good service. You bet. All right, folks, coming up here on Kudlow, President Trump says we are not looking